Today I'm going to share with you how to make this delicious split peas cook-up rice with chicken and smoked turkey. There are many different types of cook-up such as black eyed peas cook-up, chana cook-up, but split peas cook-up tends to be the most challenging. To get started, I am going to fill a pot with water. To that, I've added split peas and smoked turkey wings, which I've cut into pieces. Once this comes to a boil, I let it cook for about 35 minutes. Placing the spoon on top prevents it from boiling over as it cooks. Next, I'm going to prepare the seasonings, and I am just chopping up the onions using one of my new favorite gadgets, this slap chop thingy, and it's amazing. As you can see, this took just a few seconds to obliterate an onion. And just a reminder that I will have the full recipe linked below in the description box. Next, I'm going to season the chicken, and I've cut up chicken pieces. You can use any piece of chicken that you like. I prefer to use bone-in. I've added chopped garlic, scallion, the onion. I'm also adding chicken bouillon powder. I'm adding black pepper, and I'm also adding dried marinated pork. If you cannot find this, you can just use basil. And I'm going to mix this all together just to make sure that everything is nicely coated, and let that sit and marinate. Next, I'm going to check on the peas because this has been going for a while. Now, it's important for the peas to crumble when you press it between your fingers, but it should not be mushy. This is the perfect texture because as it cooks, it will continue to cook with the rest of the food. If it's too soft, it will disintegrate, so it does still need to be somewhat grainy. Next, I'm going to saute the chicken in some oil, and I'm just going to cook it for about 10 minutes. Just let it cook a little bit in its juices before adding a can of coconut milk. Now, you can also make the coconut milk yourself. I do have a video on how to make homemade coconut milk, and I will link it below. And I'm just going to give this a good stir. This also helps to break up all those yummy bits that stuck to the pot. And I'll allow this to simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes. While that simmers, I am going to strain the liquid from the peas and the smoked turkey. The reason why I strained it is because I don't want to add all the liquid at once, because one thing about cook-up, if you've added way too much liquid, then you end up with a really soupy, mushy sort of cook-up. Now, if that's what you're looking for, then by all means, but I don't prefer my cook-up that way. So to the coconut milk mixture and the chicken, I've added the split peas and the smoked turkey. I'm going to stir that all together. That smoked turkey is going to give this an amazing flavor. Now I'm adding some of the liquid that the smoked turkey and the split peas cooked in. That's also going to have a lot of flavor as well. I'm going to let this come to a boil. Then I'm going to add thyme, bay leaf, and wiri pepper. I tied my thyme in a bundle just because it's going to be easier to fish out the stems once the food is done. And I'm going to cover this, lower the heat all the way down, and allow it to cook. Now check on it periodically and add liquid as needed. Once it's finished, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the rice is perfectly cooked, and the peas, you can still actually see that the peas is whole, but it is soft and tender. And all that's left to do is to serve up. And this is pretty much what you want your cook-up to look like. It will absorb even more liquid as it cools. You know what? It's a preference. Some people like it to be more soupy. If that's your preference, then go right ahead, because remember, you have to enjoy what you're cooking. All that's left to do is to enjoy this with some nice mango achar. Thank you guys for joining me. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.